All right, hi everybody. As many of you know, my name's Blaine. I am a collector on the CoinOp website, as well as fans of Lincoln Cents and other things. And today I have decided, after a bunch of people telling me that I needed to do this because they'd like to see some stuff, I have decided I am going to start a YouTube channel and upload a few things about how I handle my coins, what I do to, there'll be some future videos about cleaning coins. You guys can send me some recommendations about things that you'd like to learn about. I'm very happy to do my best to try and cover whatever subjects I can. First thing to mention though is obviously I have my own way of doing things. Not everybody decides they want to do things the same way. If you feel you need to comment because you do something a different way than I do, that's perfectly fine. I only ask that you keep it polite because not everybody decides to do things the same way. I have been collecting for over 35 years. I have been roll collecting for about 29, almost 30 years of that 35 years. So I'm relatively proficient when it comes to a lot of my rolls of coins. Obviously, as many of you know, I only collect Lincoln Cents. And that's good and bad. Everybody has their thing. Lincoln Cents happened to be mine. I caught the bug from my father, and I passed it on also to my son. He's just as excited about it as anybody else, which is kind of nice. But I'm going to cover a little bit of the basics today in this one, just so that you guys can see a little bit about some of the basics that I do. If you hear some noise in the background, I do happen to have two birds. One small one big one, and the big one can talk, so if you hear some talking in the background, it's likely him. If you hear some squawking in the background, it's likely the little one. So I apologize for that. Yeah, there's one of them right there. Anyway, I want to make sure I cover a few things. Again, like I said, I do things my way. Anybody can do them the way that they feel the most comfortable. The best thing that I want to make sure I cover first is the general work area. My work area is not very big, and I do it that way so that I can try and not make a huge mess out of everything. I have several things that are necessities and must-haves when it comes to working with coins. Number one, I have this black fabric covered pad that I have in front of me here, and the interesting part about this is the reason why I have it is simply because I don't want to put coins on a hard flat surface, something like a desktop or a tabletop, or even a kitchen counter for that matter. Part of the reason for that is when you go to try and pick up the coin, everybody's always had the problem and the issue of trying to pick up a coin off of, say, the pavement or the ground, or even off the floor, and it's not so easy. So by having a slightly padded fabric surface, it makes the ability to actually pick up a coin much easier, being able to get your fingers around it to pick it up. This is simply just a fabric that I bought at the fabric store. This happens to be a plexiglass piece that I have, a very thick plexiglass piece. I've also seen people do this with a desk blotter. I've also seen people do this with a large cutting board, like one of the either a wood cutting board or one of the plastic cutting boards, the nylon cutting boards that they have, and you just simply wrap the fabric around it so that it's nice and tight, and I just simply taped it on the back side with duct tape. Duct tape apparently does fix a lot of things. And so you can buy this fabric and material in all sorts of different colors. Here's white, this is black, we've got some red over on the other side over there, and some blue. Whatever you feel you want to do, it's kind of nice. You can take pictures on it, and it helps photograph your coins a little better too. But the main purpose for it is a nice soft surface to work with. I can slide coins around on it. I'm not going to wind up causing any abrasions on the coins. And I can pick them up relatively easily from that standpoint. The second most important thing, obviously, is lighting. I have three different lights that I have here. One is this magnifying light that I have that's on an arm and a gimbal that I can move around. This one is actually a relatively expensive one. I got it for Christmas, actually, from my sister. And the interesting part about it was this one has LED lights in it that are actually multiple colors. There's 2 different colors, and I can actually adjust the color temperature of these lights all the way down to a low intensity if I want a low intensity light, or I can also adjust them up to a higher intensity. And there are 2 different colors, and those colors represent a number on what's called a Kelvin scale. The Kelvin scale that I like to use, or the color of light that I like to use, is anywhere between about 2700 Kelvin and about 3500 Kelvin. If you need to Google search what that is, 2700 Kelvin is basically like a normal incandescent light bulb that you would find in your house. The other light that I use is just a regular desk lamp light. This one has just a regular incandescent light bulb in it that's a 100-watt light bulb. And then I also have a row of, that you can't see up here off the video screen, a row of LED lights that's also in the 3000 Kelvin range. So I have a lot of bright light, and obviously you know, that's important. I try and work during the day if I can. I also have some windows just off to my right here that are out to the backyard that face west, so I get a nice bright sunlight in the afternoon. Sunlight is good, but direct sunlight is not the best thing in the world to use. It tends to wash out your coins because it is extremely bright. It's what they call daylight light, which is much higher on the Kelvin scale. So lighting is important. Make sure you have plenty of light. Obviously, your surface is important to make sure you have plenty of surface to work with. And then the other thing is obviously, what do you use to pick up your gloves? You'll notice that I didn't use anything from a glove standpoint to pick up my coins. People can use a neoprene glove like this. You know, a regular latex glove is okay. Other people like to use a cotton glove. I choose to use no gloves, and the reason for that is a cotton glove tends to make the coins slippery. I don't seem to be able to grip them as well with a cotton glove. And the neoprene gloves are fine, except my hands sweat. And then the problem I have there is when I go to take my gloves off, my hands are full of sweat and moisture, and that moisture splashes in and around the air and can get all over your coins. Most people don't think about that, but it's important. The other thing, and I know I'm breaking this rule, I don't have coins out in front of me, and I'll be breaking this rule throughout most of my videos. The other thing you should never ever do, especially over top of a very nice coin or a very expensive coin or any coins that you want to keep for a very extended period of time, you should never talk over your coins. The amount of moisture in your breath and speech from every spoken word as it comes out of your mouth is quite intense, and there's an awful lot of it, and that moisture, gravity says it doesn't just go and float up into the air like it would in space. Unfortunately, the moisture tends to out and down and right onto your coins, and you may not notice it, but everybody's seen the little tiny black dots on coins that coins get when they pull them out of a roll that they bought for whatever the reason, and well, it means somebody at some point in time either talked or sneezed or coughed or did something over their coins. And so your best bet is try not to talk over it. If you do feel the need to talk, you can get one of those surgical masks if you need to, so you can put that on, and that way you can talk over your coins. Now, if they're just, like I said, I'm going to break the rule here, I apologize for that, but if they're just average everyday coins and not that big of a deal, some talking is okay. Try to keep it to a minimum. Obviously, I'm older, so glasses are important to have from that standpoint. Obviously, a magnifying glass and a loupe are important to have as well. So that's the first section of the video that I'm going to give you here. We're almost at about 10 minutes on the video, so I'm going to try and keep these videos to 10 minutes. Hopefully, I'm going to see if I can get this one uploaded and see how it works. I'll put a little note on the CoinOp website, see if anybody wants to watch the videos. And we'll cover some more stuff with a second video in just a little bit and see what happens. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys enjoy learning a little bit about what I have learned over the course of the last 35 years.